brought you to MorningStar?
I only had one sibling, my sister. She had one child. And she and her second husband, they decided they wanted to have another child. So they had one who's now 10 years old, but they wanted to move out of California. They didn't want her raised in California. And so they came and wanted to know if we would move, my sister and I. My sister had dementia and then passed away with Alzheimer's here. And we said, no problem, we'll move too. So there were a total of 12 of us all together that moved over. That was basically the entire family, except for a few cousins over there. But, and we've loved it.
What did you do in California?
I worked for the Social Security Administration. I worked there for 36 years and retired from that. I was a claims representative.
And what did you learn doing that for over nearly 4 decades?
What I learned is that I helped a lot of people. There were a lot of people. You'd be surprised to know that there's still a lot of people that don't realize they've paid into it. That is their benefit. I had several people that didn't want to file for it because they thought it was welfare. And no, you've paid into this. This is your money. That's the idea here.
As you have gone throughout your life, how have you pushed through and gotten through the challenging times?
You just have to. I have been in a wheelchair since I was 5.5. I had polio. And so I grew up this way. Whenever I also had another incident, I had chickenpox right afterwards. And so the two things, the doctors didn't really know what to do. They thought that treating me for the polio, they were doing hot packs to release the muscles. And they said, well, with chickenpox, they couldn't do that anymore. Well, then they just started stretching my muscles, and they were actually destroying muscles. But they didn't know. Back then, I was the first one in my county to get polio. They didn't even know what I had for a while. So, it was...
So do you ever remember walking?
Yes, I do. I remember growing up on a farm back out in California. And my sister and I, we used to go all over the farm. It was one of the first grape farms in that area, and they made raisins, and we were always out there in the field.
You've seen life from a different perspective than a lot of us in a wheelchair.
But I grew up with it. That made it different. And I had good parents. They told me that I wasn't going to be, they weren't going to wait on me. I had to learn to do it myself, which was fine. That's great.
Yeah.
So the only thing that would stop me were stairs. I couldn't figure out how to get up and down stairs in the chair by myself. But that all worked out too.
What do you want to be remembered for?
For being somebody that people could trust, that they sometimes would share their fears or worries with me, and sometimes I felt like I was a vessel because sometimes things would come out of my mouth and I'm not sure where it came from, but it sounded good and people were very, pleased with it. I mean, I don't know, it just seemed like, I used to tell a friend of mine that I don't know where those words came from, but they helped her or whoever I was talking with.
I'm sure some of the words you've said today will help people watching. So thank you so much, Kay, for chatting with us.